Hey, what's up, Exit the Matrix family? Bob here. Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining me here on this morning talk. Hey guys, I wanted this to try to be a little more of an inspirational video. I know a lot of times some of my videos are pretty deep and hard, especially for people that are new to listening to me or are just new as far as awakening and going down rabbit holes and such. It's very easy for people that are just going along with the flow and just living their lives normal on the, just surface thinking, kind of just letting all of the worries and all of the things going on around us just kind of pass you by, and perhaps that's a good thing. Sometimes it's good not to be caught up in everything, and just to kind of just get by sometimes. However, a lot of you have started paying attention and you started delving into these deep rabbit holes and wanting to learn the deeper understandings of this realm. Why are we here, and where did we come from, and who runs the world, and why, and how, and all these things. And the deeper and deeper it goes, sometimes it can be very hard on your psyche. It can be hard to stay mentally strong as you start figuring these things out. But today, folks, what I want to talk about is the hero's journey. Now, most of you that have heard that term, it's usually tied in with with a Greek story, or like the Iliad, or perhaps you've even heard of the Epic of Gilgamesh, or through a movie, a Hollywood movie, and that's all fine and dandy, but here's what I want you to understand, folks, is each and every one of us is on the hero's journey, because we journeyed here to this realm. I find that this is so hard for people to get. They get so caught up in this realm, in the reality of this realm. I find a lot of times when I talk about the realm we come from, our true home, the higher vibratory realm, the higher dimension that we come from, where we're directly connected into all of the knowledge of the universe. You could call it the Akashic Records, where we can manifest instantly, where there is no negative energy, because you're in a pure light realm, a pure love realm, and there is not duality, there is not polarity like you find in this realm. And I find a lot of people, especially from a religious point of view, they think that that's something that we have not yet gone to. They think that that's something you have to attain. Like you have to follow God's commands and pray through Yeshua, and that's the only way you're led into that place, and they usually call it heaven. Or if you go against God, or you don't, you're not a good Christian or whatever, or a good Muslim, you go to hell. I don't think people have the understanding that that is our true home, and that we actually descend into a lower vibratory realm to enter this realm. I've said it many times, folks. In Revelation, when it talks about the number of the beast, it even says it's the number of man, a number of a man. 666, right? This number that scares so many people and that brings up, thoughts of the devil and demons and all this stuff. Folks, it's a simple allegory. It's trying to explain what happens when a spirit enters into the human avatar body, into this lower dimension. You take on the beast. Folks, the beast is the body, the human avatar. It's a lower vibratory construct in a lower vibratory realm, Earth, in the third dimension. And it operates because it's part of this realm, so part of the human operates, the body operates on instinct, on animal instinct. That's why when you take on the human avatar, you come down to this level, you take on the beast. Now, what it's talking about in Revelation, and I'm just really quick, just so you understand this. When it talks about Revelation, it's talking about, the Antichrist is talking about this world they want to take us in with transhumanism, where they merge the beast, the human body, with technology, with robotics and AI. That is the Antichrist, because the Christ consciousness is your spirit that operates the avatar. It's your true self. It's your higher dimensional vibratory self. And what they're trying to do is build a system that tries to further take you away from that Christ consciousness. That's the Antichrist. Do you get it? It's an allegory. So let's move on. There's another amazing story that you should read. It's a Sumerian tablet, just like the Epic of Gilgamesh. It's called Inanna's Descent into the Underworld. Folks, this story is about the hero's journey also. And it is about the story of taking on the beast. Entering the beast. It's about entering the lower dimensions. See, in the story, Inanna is one of the Anuna. She's one of the Elohim. And she goes through all these levels, these gates, and as she descends into the underworld to rescue her slain husband, the loved Dumuzi, who is also called the Good Shepherd. Oh yes, people, there's a lot of little things that allude to the New Testament story of Yeshua and the cross, and him being the Good Shepherd, and his sacrifice and being reborn or reascending after 3 days after death. Same allegories in Inanna's Descent. But it's also about this story of the hero's journey, of coming into this lower vibratory realm and having this journey through all these different gates and through all these different levels of shedding off ego and moving far away from your high vibratory state. She goes through all of these gates. Well, folks, that's the different levels, different dimensional levels as you go down into lower vibration. It could also be an allegory about the chakra system. As you fall from grace, as you enter this low vibration, you leave the crown chakra and you go all the way down to the root chakra, and then you have to restart from the root chakra, and then you have to start working up through the levels and re-attaining enlightenment, which is the hero's journey, folks. See, that's the hero's journey. It's re-attaining enlightenment, folks. Because when you come into this lower vibration, you lose light. You lose light vibration. See, sound, light, energy, it's all a vibration. It's all tied together. And when you go from a high realm, a high dimension, to a low dimension, your light gets dimmed. Your vibration gets slowed. You see less light. You see at a less of a light spectrum. They even tell you that, science, that we only see a very small percentage of light in this realm compared to what reality is. That's why you can't see past the veil, folks. The veil is the human body. The veil is wrapped around the human body. It's part of the game, folks. To come and play this game, to take on the hero's journey, you have to shed your abilities, your high vibratory abilities. And that's what Inanna does. When she goes through these gates, she has to shed an extra layer of clothing, or she has to give up a powerful amulet, or her raiments, her heavenly raiments, you could call it. Some of you from the Christian realm would call that God's armor, right? Well, she has to shed off pieces of this as she goes lower. See, we do that, folks. When you enter the human body, the beast, the lower vibratory body, you shed all of your abilities that you naturally have as a conscious energy being that operates on multiple dimensions and at a high dimension and a high vibratory state. The journey, folks, is finding re-enlightenment. It's going through this hard life. It's slogging through this realm of duality. It's overcoming your shadow self. See, when you take on the beast system, the beast body, the human body, you also take on a shadow self. Because this is a realm of duality. You have a light and a dark side. That's part of the battle, overcoming that. Do any of you remember the old video game, Zelda? Remember Link in the second Zelda? The very last part of the game, he has to fight his shadow self to win the game. See, a lot of these video games, a lot of these movies, they've been telling you that about the hero's journey, but they stylize it. It's always about, some barbarian or something that has to, go on the hero's journey. Or you think of the Greek, epics, and, and like I said, right now, I was talking about one of the Sumerian epics. And you see these same allegories play out in the Epic of Gilgamesh. And it's interesting because his companion is Enkidu, and Enkidu is like a wild beast man. See, folks, it's a allegory. Enkidu is an allegory of Gilgamesh's beast. And as you know, Gilgamesh was part Anuna and part human. He is a hybrid. He was a, you would call him in the Bible a Nephilim. But we all are, folks. I hate to tell you this. We are a hybridized species. The Homo sapien race is not a pure race. It's a hybridized race that has been tinkered with multiple times over the last 300,000 years. And our scientists are starting to find this out through the genetics, figuring out, like, through the Genome Project and through all of their studies into our genetics. They're figuring this out. They've even found the God gene, the worship gene that was installed into us to give us a propensity to want to worship something. See, they did that on purpose, folks. And then they set themselves up as gods, these Anuna, who were just humanoids. They were not God or gods, but they masqueraded as gods, and they tinkered with our genetics. But I'm sorry, I got a little sidetracked there, folks. It's so important for people to understand this stuff. But you are in your own epic right now, folks. Now, are you going to win the battle, or are you going to give up? Are you going to fight to the dying of the light? Are you gonna walk the path of re-enlightenment, of figuring out what you are, why you're here? It starts first, folks, with understanding that this is not your true home. It starts with understanding that you chose to come here to play this game, to learn, to experience duality. It comes with the understanding that you took on a shadow self, and you took on the beast body, which tricks you into thinking that you are the body. And this shadow self of yours, throughout your life, it will battle with you. It will try to overcome you. It'll try to push you over the edge. It'll try to conquer you. It leads many to addiction. This is what people always see. People blame this on demons and fallen angels and all of these other things in psychiatric issues, and but it's always been your shadow self you've been battling, folks. See, it's challenging you, because the only way you learn anything in this realm, and the only way you come out of this with an amazing story to tell, is that you overcome it. Now, not everybody wins this game. Many come back to Earth many times, incarnating many, many times to figure this out. They go back to the other realm and they're, my God, how could I not figure it out? I got tricked and I became addicted to stuff, and it overcame me and I lost my way. See, in that hero's journey, sometimes you lose. Not all people complete the game. Not all people conquer the shadow self. Not all people find re-enlightenment to this reality, to where they came from, and understanding. And most importantly, folks, total re-enlightenment in this realm is understanding that we have dominion over this realm. That is the most powerful idea that I have just come to understand through all of my years of research and through my own studies that I've been recently doing and delving into how to hack the matrix, how to hack the quantum field, how to understand what true magic is and spiritual ability. I've come to understand this. See, some people in this realm, folks, they get cheat codes too. Some people, when they're born here, they're born with different psychic abilities. They may have the ability to read people's emotions. You call those empaths. Some people may have psychic abilities where they can see glimpses of the future. Some people can actually see past the veil and see spirits and such. Some people have strong intellects. See, we all are given special abilities, folks. It's just like when you play a role-playing game like Skyrim or something. You start out the game with rudimentary skills, but you get to handpick which ones. Are you going to have archer skills? Are you going to be a swordsman? Are you going to be a magician? Are you going to be a healer? I mean, there's these different skills. And those skills start out rudimentary. And sometimes, to get strong in those, you have to develop them. Sometimes people that are born with psychic skills, they never use them, and it's like they go away. They stay kind of asleep. Other people learn how to develop them, and they become very powerful psychics. See, we all have special abilities, folks. You got to figure out what your special ability is. I've finally come to realize that mine is seeing the big picture, is connecting dots. See, folks, I'm not a specialist in languages. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a mathematician whiz. I'm not an archaeologist, or I don't specialize in any of these things, but that I do have a passion in studying them. But this is why, folks, because I let other people see. A lot of people, they put all of their energy into studying one thing, and they're masters of it, and they uncover great information for humanity to use. But see, what I do is I just read and listen to what they have uncovered. But then I look at tons of sources of this that specialists have delved into. And then I pull myself way above all of that, and I try to look down, and I try to see the puzzle piece, or the board with the puzzle pieces. And then I start connecting them. That's how my mind works. I have finally figured out that that is my special ability. I just connect the dots, folks. Now, you may have something different than me. It's different, and we all have special abilities. See, that's our cheat codes. When you choose to come here, you get to pick a few special abilities to help you in your hero's journey. Some people are like amazing hunters, and that helps them provide for their family here, and that helps them get really close to nature. Because, folks, you ain't going to get any more closer to nature than if you take nature's life. Harvesting like a deer, for instance, you have to respect that animal. And I'm not saying all hunters are respectful, okay? But good hunters are respectful. They appreciate that sacrifice. They're close to nature. They gain a keen understanding of how nature works. And because this realm is an energy exchange, folks, energy comes and goes, it flows. It gets traded back and forth. We are energy. We're pure energy. We're pure light and sound resonance. Everything is. It's just that this realm is a lower vibratory version of that, of the higher realms. So I want you to take heart, folks. Things may be tough in your life. You may have lost loved ones. Some people have lost their children, or a child, or a spouse, or their parents. Some were born into this world as orphans with no family, no parents. See, this realm is hard, folks, because you're being tested, okay? Some of you have to deal with addictions. Some of you have ailments, health ailments, physical ailments that you were born with, or that happened because of tragedies, or, at car accidents or something. But you have to understand, folks, is that you chose this. All this stuff was in your soul contract. That was the rules of the game that you decided to abide by, and you wrote those rules up before you came here. See, this wouldn't have been an experience if there wasn't bad guys. This wouldn't have been an experience if you didn't have a dark side. Because to overcome all that is amazing. That is the hero's journey. That is re-enlightenment. And to realize that you are an all-powerful spirit, and that you're just journeying here. And that really bolsters you, because once you're not afraid anymore in this realm, and you come into power and dominion over this realm, over the quantum field, and you start realizing how to manifest similar to what you can do in the other realm, but under the rules of this realm, please watch my video I just posted yesterday. So today's Saturday, that was Friday. Just so, in case you catch this, a few days later or something. How to hack the matrix. Folks, you need to listen to that. I have had some amazing things happen recently, and I believe that I've figured out how to tweak manifestation out so that it is easier and more powerful to use to attain, your manifestation. So, folks, we have dominion over this realm. We are journeying here, and it don't matter if you end up passing from this realm. I guess nowadays you can't even talk about, your life dismissing, if you get what I'm saying. Because apparently now these social media sites, that's get this. This is crazy. Real quick, I know I'm messing up where I was going here, but you got to hear this. The other day, Facebook flagged one of my posts, and it was a picture of somebody having an out-of-body experience. The girl's body is laying in the bed sleeping, and she's sitting in a chair next to her body, realizing like, wow, I'm out of my body, and she's looking at it. And I turned it into a meme, and it just said like something, realize that you're not a human trying to have a spiritual experience. You're a spirit having a human experience. And they flagged that as like pushing harm to others or yourself. Like, what? And it was AI. It even said that this was an AI flag content. And there was no way you could even dispute it. So they forced me to delete the post. It was about an out-of-body experience. Like, what the frick, man? See, they're trying to change our reality, folks. They're trying to make the hero's journey much harder to attain. Because once you attain it and you find enlightenment, their game's up, especially if enough of us figure it out. Maybe what happens when enough of humanity figures it out, we have a short time on earth, which is alluded to in the Bible, of 1,000 years of peace and prosperity, the golden age. And in the yugas, the yuga cycles talk about a golden age also. And this has been a common teaching in this realm, throughout the ages, of cycles that humanity goes through, that the karmic wheel, you could call it, where humanity reaches enlightenment, we have a golden age, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, we start going down the cycle again, and then we go back into like the dark ages, where humans become more barbarian again, and technology is lost, and enlightenment is lost, and then we have to start working our way back up the wheel. So maybe it's just how this game works, folks. Maybe you incarnate through different parts of time on that wheel, so you get to experience all of those times of humanity. And the game, once it's good for so long, it's like, okay, cool, the game's done, now it resets and it starts over again. I don't know. I'm just saying, folks. I'm trying to figure all this out, folks, because it is insane. You really got to delve into people that have near-death experiences, because they're coming back from the other side of the veil, and they're bringing information that most people will never hear. And it's so amazing that people are afraid of like learning about this stuff. Like, for me, I find it very enlightening, and it's very peaceful, because it makes you lose fear. Because when you do pass from here, what? I guess, the allegory, just like in Inanna's descent, or Yeshua's, rising, from the grave. You're reborn back into the spirit realm. And no, God's not sitting there on a throne with trumpets blaring and holding a book in his hand. He's sitting there with his long white beard, and and he's got a halo over him, and he's judging, oh no, you broke this commandment and that commandment. You're going down to hell to meet my best friend Satan, that my right hand man. The all-knowing God that created the all bad guy, knowing he was going to be a bad guy. I mean, how would God not know he wasn't going to deceive people and the angels themselves? I mean, come on, man. It's all an allegory, folks. You take that stuff for just face value. I mean, the whole Bible is about allegories, folks. Even Yeshua even said that he taught in allegories. He taught in parables. Don't you get it? It's trying to teach you through stories. It's trying to teach you through symbolism. But you'll read that face value and take it for what it is. Like, I mean, yeah, God created the earth, and 7 days and all this stuff. And, and 7 days is like 1,000 years to human. So, the earth is like between 6,000 and 7,000 years old. Like, come on, man. Seriously. I run into this on my page all the time, man. I get attacked. And boy, I'll tell you what, some of these religious people, they are not nice. You should see that. I'm going to start screenshotting their messages and posting them, because you got to see how the despicable things these people like write me on Messenger and stuff. I mean, I laugh, because they're just, hey man, we're all brothers and sisters. It's like a squabble, right? They just don't know. What they don't know, they don't know. They're ignorant. And I think I hit nerves, because I'm not afraid to tell you guys these things. Am I always right about everything? Probably not. Like, I mean, that's why I always tell you, do your own research, come up with your own theories. I have never once said that I know everything. I've never once said I've figured everything out. I'm on my own hero's journey. And it just so happens that I'm trying to help you guys. the best I can. I don't want to mislead anybody, but I mean, what is this life if you aren't going to try to find enlightenment? If you aren't going to try to figure out the mysteries of this realm, what's the point of being here, right? I mean, it's kind of, once you start figuring out what it really is, it becomes more enjoyable because you get out of the fear matrix. You realize, then all of a sudden, what's weird about that? You actually sin less. Because once you think you would sin more because now you're not afraid of hell and all that, but you actually sin less because now you're starting to operate at a high level of vibration. And all of a sudden, those things that you used to love, those drugs, the sex, all those things that people fall like, addicted to, all of a sudden that stuff don't matter anymore. You start seeing through the illusion of what it is. It's trying to pull you off the journey, off the path, right? So, hey guys, I hope this brought you some good information. I hope it bolsters you. Please study Inanna's descent into the underworld. Also study Epic of Gilgamesh. They've been demonized by the religious communities. But you got to understand, folks, these were our ancient ancestors. Possibly we were living during that time in Sumer, in Ur, or, one of these other Eridu or one of these other ancient cities. And we were there possibly. And something rings true when you read these ancient stories. I mean, these are thousands and thousands of years old. And they're trying to teach you about this even then. So, anyways, guys, I love you guys. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you later.